the Discord.
Oh yeah, do you have a link to the new docs?
The new docs are not merged yet.
Okay.
I'm still working on them this and next week, actually, because I need to get the content updated like stylistically. You'll see what I mean in a second.
Yep.
So take the YouTube link and go to this. And so everyone, there we go. I cannot paste links. Did I not get the YouTube link? There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Copy. Paste. Perfect. Okay. So that's in the Discord. And then I'll just announce another one here. State of Nativewind is live. Boom. All right. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
So we've missed a couple of these.
Yes.
But we're here. We're ready to talk about some different stuff that is on the Nativewind horizon. First and foremost, we should probably give an update on version 5 and the plans for rolling that out. A lot of folks have been asking about a timeline for that. So I think you want to go into like where it's at and what beta and or like stable progression might look like.
So we're hoping to get the it out previously in March before. Obviously, we slightly slipped on that timeline. Things got a little bit hectic. So we're kind of hoping to get it out hopefully within the next 2 weeks. It's just some additional kind of testing that we need to do there. Just, once you start putting the hands of some people, you start getting those last minute bugs all come through. So because I've kind of given it out to like friends and family a little bit, just on some like projects that I know that they run it on. And yeah, just you think you found all the edge cases, and then once you give it to people, they find a whole bunch more, because people love to use things in fun and amusing ways.
And that'll continue to be the case, probably.
It will always continue to be the case. Yeah, but I just don't want to push out a beta that people immediately run into problems with. So yeah, probably just another week or two, just to kind of clean that up. And then we will first push out the blog post that talks about the changes, just so people can kind of get like prepped for it. And then a couple of days after that, we'll actually publish out the beta preview as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and one of the questions we have right off the bat is, will it be a huge effort to migrate from version 4?
So the migration effort, in terms of API changes, we're just deprecating functions. We're not actually changing how we do things. Like, so all the custom APIs that you've used before will still work. The actual migration effort will be just migrating your Tailwind from Tailwind 3 to Tailwind 4. And that migration can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be, because there's two different ways to migrate. There's one where you just keep your same config and kind of move that across, or there's a more longer version where you migrate to the new Tailwind 4 config file. So it really depends on how big your theme was, of all the custom changes that you've done there. But the migration will be on that Tailwind side, not on the Nativewind side. But obviously, take that baggage.
The other thing that'll be in there is the reanimated 4 animation. Yes. So it's like, but will have access to that if you want to use it, which you probably will. So you might want to revisit any existing animations that you have, potentially replacing the way in which you do that. But yeah, everything that you have now should work as it has been before. I don't even think Reanimated 4 isn't even like if you pull in Reanimated, it's still using 3 now.
Still using 3. Expo, I believe, is updating to 4 for SDK 53,
Mm-hmm.
and their beta should be. Oh, is it out yet? Well, out in the next 2 weeks or so. It's coming very soon. 53 canaries are being published to npm right now. So the actual expo beta will be there, and that should have the reanimated changes. So that will be the big part here. So I forgot to mention with the migration part, I guess like part of the migration is we want people to be on the latest React Native version. So we're going to require that as well. So you're going to have to be on 78 with the latest reanimated, with the latest Tailwind, so updating the major versions of everything. So if you have your app already up to date with SDK 53 when it comes out, then the update to version 4 will be quite easy. If you're still on SDK 52, you can still just update your dependencies, but you'll have to use a development client instead of using the Expo Go version.
Yeah. So then as far as the build optimizations for that you benefit from, like the upgrade to Tailwind 4, is keeping with the traditional configuration? I think, yeah, this would probably be a concern for a number of people, is keeping with the configuration from 3 going to absolve you of the build optimizations? Like, would you have to go through that migration to the new configuration style to benefit from build optimizations?
So Tailwind 4 doesn't offer too many runtime benefits for Nativewind.
Mm-hmm.
It will make your builds a little bit faster and like your fast refreshes a little bit faster. But in terms of production performance, because we run Tailwind during the build time, during your compile time, it doesn't actually affect the runtime in any way, shape, or form. So the update from 3 to 4 is mostly just like a maintenance to kind of keep up to date with things. Like your app is not going to become faster because of this change. You might just see some slightly improved build times, but nothing really significant there. It's mostly just to make sure that we kind of keep in line with Tailwind.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are one version ahead of that, which causes a little bit of confusion, I think. But yeah, it's not too bad. So another thing, I guess I should say, there will be a migration guide to help you through that.
Yeah. And we'll be publishing that before we do the release as well, like I'm saying, so you can actually read that and understand everything that it will entail to kind of wrap your head around and collect any feedback before we actually push out the release version.
And that will be part of the new, that will be launched as part of the new documentation. The new documentation will have a new visual language as well as updated, like we're going through all of the different individual page docs to ensure they're all up to date, that they all make sense. And there are going to be additional pages for more community oriented things, like a showcase of folks using Nativewind, which if you're interested in having your project or company on that page, just like shoot us a message in either like Twitter, Discord, Blue Sky, whatever. We can take a look. We'll probably start it off with just like a couple, but I did want to show off a sneak peek of what that'll look like on this. So Mark, I can do that now. if we want.
Yeah, let's do that. I haven't actually seen this
Okay.
myself, so I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. So important to recognize this is still a work in progress, and that this will see quite a bit of, hold on, let me try to get this. I think it's a window. Yeah. So this is going to see a number of different improvements over the next 2 weeks to get all of the content in. But this is going to be our new, so we'll have like a dedicated landing page. This stuff is going to likely change, but we have these sections now. You can see the navigation has changed ever so slightly, where you have the docs as well as the various sections. You'll have the blog as a separate thing, community, which will largely just link to the Discord. Hold on, let me just hide this comment real quick then also. And then that showcase that I was talking about, I'll link to our sponsors. You'll still be able to search here the way you have been. So if we actually then like go to the docs, you're going to see this is going to look a little choppy. Hold on, give it a second. Is my mouse click working? There we go. Okay, sorry. This is obviously not quite yet styled. We're still working through these like code blocks and stuff. But you can see also that that navigation structure is still there. We're mostly trying to mirror the Tailwind docs experience. So there's also going to be more stylistic updates to this. But yeah, we're just like really trying to nail down uh, all of these code blocks and stuff, and the formatting looking the way it should, and we'll be moving these all to the appropriate um, like MDX, like just the different you know title headers and things like that. The cool thing this allows us to do is that previously we ran into some trouble with Docusaurus, where it would do weird stuff over here in the installation page because of like we wanted to have a system like this to navigate different ways of setting up Tailwind. This I'm thinking, Mark, I'm kind of curious to hear your take. The SDK 49 support, like with the release of 53, I feel like we should probably just drop that, right?
Yeah, so we will only support 53 upwards with Tailwind 4. So we'll be dropping those sections from the docs.
Yeah.
So that's just before V3. And then from V4, it's 53 upwards, just because we'll require React 19 and Reanimated 4.
Yeah, I'm probably going to spend a little bit time. I was talking with Jay of Legend List or like Legend app, and he's been playing around with using Tailwind on desktop. And I want to also add an option here for folks who want to do like desktop applications, because there are slight things that you want to like have in there for configuring starting a desktop application. And people seem very much wanting to use that. So yeah, you'll start to see this change a bit. But this is like a high level like where this is going, and I expect that this, similar to the version 5 launch, will basically be about 2 weeks before it's ready to go. So structurally, largely the same. You still be able to like browse different versions. You'll see version 5 pop up in here as well. But it will not be the default version. It will be one that you can just select and, similar to Reanimated 4, like browse it. Yeah, so that's the current structure for the docs changes. Yeah, we briefly considered using trying to get it so that you could actually have um, the code here, like in any one of these examples, reflect a application so you could actually see the changes. But I actually have another idea for that. that will either just use bolt.new and you can, launch into that separately. But if I can, I'm going to actually try to see if we can throw together like a Nativewind app that, you know what I mean, is just like the proper configuration. And so you can actually see somewhat of a showcase of different things that people who are at least curious about performance and things
Yeah,
like
well,
that can see.
I actually have a Bolt new with Nativewind running in it. So you
Oh,
should be able to
great.
give a Bolt new so then people can just run it on
Yeah,
their
that'd be
device
super
themselves.
super
Yeah.
easy. We can just jump right in with that then in the short term. Um but yeah, the other thing that's going to be coming now along with from the more like Nativewind UI side is we are working, Zach and I, on a component library registry. So anyone who works on a component library that is based on Nativewind, who is interested in making it more discoverable or distributing it, will be able to like register their component library similar to ShadCN's registry, and then folks will be able to utilize your component library. You won't have to worry about building out and maintaining a CLI for that. Um, I'm hoping to give some semblance of analytics of usage with respect to that. That's still kind of like a mold, like we're molding that idea. Um, but hopefully this is something that we have. This will be something that's available after the version 5 launch. But it'll have options like Nativewind UI, React Native reusables, GlueStack, hopefully in there as well. And so hopefully we'll see that sort of evolve over time. But yeah, that's a pretty high priority item on the Nativewind UI side of things, as well as the RN primitives version 2 that we're working on, which will be much more mindful of doing things sort of in a platform specific way, right? Like, here's what you will have on iOS, here's what it'll be like on Android and web, and desktop if you wanted to. So those are all things that are coming basically into the summer, and hopefully version 5 and all of these things I'm mentioning will really hit a stable point, less beta, by like end of the summer type area. That's realistic expectation, I would think. So yeah, that's what we have on that front. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing this now. Um, yeah, and like I said, if you have any interest in being in the showcase, or the community page that we're going to have in the docs is going to highlight some stuff that the community has thrown together for Tailwind, whether those are visual tools that here's how you can manage color theming or something, or um, we'll probably have a little like snippet there for the uh, either some things from Expo or just like different primitive libraries. But if you have anything you want to show off, then definitely shoot us a link to it. We're very open to throwing things on there. So yeah, those are the big updates. Oh, and we, for Nativewind UI, just pushed out a theme editor, and we have that attached thanks to our guy Oliver to a Figma plugin. So you can actually freely move between editing your theme visually on our website to just like doing so right into your, like, if you work with Figma. I want to see if we can get that adapted to just like working with Nativewind overall. And we're also working on that. You remember that Tailwind animated thing, Mark?
Yep.
So we're working on getting that up with I'm hoping to get it with the Reanimated 4.
Yeah.
I feel like that would just be the easiest way to stand it up. But yeah, we're just banging on that one right now. So, but yeah, it'll just be a way that you can mess around with the animations right in a browser, and once you feel good about it, you can just sort of export the code for React Native right away.
Yeah, if we want to have more, give people more visibility into what they can do with the animations, and we just don't have to use the built-in ones. Um, yeah, like a more visual editor for it. That way, if you're not very familiar with CSS and what you can do with the animations there, this tool's kind of going to expose it a little bit already. This is pretty common inside the web frameworks. There's a lot of tools out there that exist this. We're just adopting one of those to kind of work a little bit for our use case here.
Yeah. Also worth noting, I don't know if you took a look at some of the metrics recently, Mark, but we're about to hit the 6K stars metric.
That's
And
pretty cool.
yeah, so a lot of this is going to line up with just sort of the celebration around 6K stars, as well as we are at 175-ish thousand downloads per week right
Ooh.
now, which is funny
Yeah,
considering I think
on
the
the
last time we chatted about this, we were very hype about like breaking
100,000.
100K, I think, you know?
It is
So
a slow and steady climb, our NPM
yeah,
downloads and GitHub stars. We're definitely on the slow and steady wins the race
yeah.
trajectory here.
Although I think the as we deliver more on these guides and stuff for a lot of the
I'm
stuff that people get,
hoping it will ramp up a little bit. Yeah, that'll be
yeah,
good.
I think that's really going to start to compound uh, pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited for the upcoming conferences to just sort of get a sense for what the vibe is around Nativewind, its usage. Um, Mark, I know you might have a little bit of a bit of aversion to this, but I want to shoot you what I think could be a great new logo for Nativewind. But
Oh, please. Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. I've been working on this new logo for it, and I just think it would be so much fun. I think it would be a really cool thing. So I'll send that over to you this week, and then we can, if we think it's a good idea, we can make the switch and sort of have it be the V5, um,
Hmm.
in line with that type deal.
Yes, I feel like people have suffered with my docs and my bad design skills for quite a while now. I'm looking forward to these changes, and the new logo would be
For what
great.
it's worth, a lot of designers have come to me inspired to do things as a result of what you're
Okay,
saying.
that's
So
cool.
so you've contributed to a lot of people stepping up and being like, "Hey y'all, this is a styling library. Let's add some
Yeah.
style."
Um, a little secret about that logo, and this is going to probably kill every designer out there, but it was literally just made in an online SVG editor.
Oh my
Like
god.
didn't even use Photoshop or like a proper design tool. I just went like Googled how
We
to
need
edit
to
SVGs online,
we
and then
need
I
to
just
like for next April Fools, I want to just give you like MS Paint and then give you just like the ability
yeah.
to like create a new logo and new visuals, and we'll just like for a day change the docs over to just like the most absurd, like here's what Mark would do kind of with
Oh,
the
actually,
visual aspects.
sorry, I just realized. No, actually, the online editor didn't work properly. The logo was actually made by hand. I actually just opened it up inside VS Code and copy and pasted the paths
I'm
of the
imagining
logo
you with like
together.
a pair of scissors and cardboard, that kind of
Well,
style.
SVGs are just text; they're just code. So
Right.
yeah, that the logo was actually made just by me copy and pasting
Yeah,
the
you're
relevant
just like,
parts of the
this
SVG that I needed.
this is code. I understand this. I
Yeah,
can make this work. Um
uh, and that's why the SVG. I think if you actually go to the image address, the SVG is like super tiny because I used like a tiny coordinate system on it or something. I've had people ask me about this before. They're like, "Why is your logo so tiny?"
I
Because
think
it always gets scaled up. Yeah,
I think so. We've been able to scale it up. I mean, on the website we have a
yeah,
version of
because it's an
that and
SVG.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's funny. I some of the folks that do design to like design engineers from like the Ronin end and working on Nativewind UI, you give them just this logo, and I don't know if you saw it on the homepage for the Nativewind, the new ones, but there's sort of like an atom moving around the rings
Yeah,
of yeah. So there's a lot of like cool little things that you can do with that. But I think with this new logo idea that I have, we're really gonna lean into like animating it whenever we have a chance to. And so anyways, there's just a lot of visual stylistic ground to cover this year. A lot of different ways to do that. So I'm looking forward to giving folks the ability to do that. If I can pull it off, I would absolutely love to chat and do more collaborations with like the Tailwind Labs folks. So I've been trying to like do a little bit of outreach there, but they seem quite busy. So we'll
yeah.
see. But that would be an absolutely incredible, I think, opportunity to you know get some overlap there, make some cool shit, and show people that the patterns that they're used to and familiar with can go a long way in React Native as well. Um, yeah. So on the whole, that is, I think, the bulk of the updates. Is there anything else that we want to cover? Is there anything expo wise that is relevant to these things outside of simply just the SDK 53 upcoming?
Um, I guess I could say SCK 53 is Expo hasn't talked too much about this, but it is in their docs. The Expo UI package, which is about the native components, we'll have to have a guide about how to style these new native components if you want to. But at the same time, if you are using these new native components, you probably want their native styling. Like you probably don't want to customize them too much. So we'll probably have to talk about that a bit more in the future after SDK 53 has been released and trying to work out how people want to use these components and where they fit into Nativewind.
Yeah. Speaking of the native kind of vibe, I'm very curious about the upcoming changes to iOS. Like, what was it, 17?
Ah,
Which one are we on now? I have trouble. Like, is it
the
17?
new look and feel. I think we're up to iOS 19.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the new one coming out. Yeah.
yeah. So that's going to be an interesting thing to adapt to. But I do like that Expo UI's approach is more like tied into the primitives of it all. So I think that's overall like the best way to do things if you care about native, because it'll require the least amount of maintenance
Yeah.
to
Well, I
keep
guess we
up with
won't
it.
know until this probably won't be talked about until the Apple conference in September. So I guess we'll just have to sit on the leaks, work out what styling is happening out on iOS, where's it going to go, and then we'll just have to deal with it when it drops in September all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah. Those private APIs really threw me for a loop also that Evan told me about. In all of my time as an iOS developer, I'd never really thought about how much Apple uses private UI kit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got me looking into a bunch of new stuff, potential components for Nativewind UI. We'll see. Cool. I think for the most part that's it. I don't know that we have anything else to share, Mark.
No, that's kind of it.
All right. Any questions for the Nativewind team? You have like 30 seconds to ask them. Unless we end this like short or whatever. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to Trucidaire though, that the guy's been just absolutely demolishing the help section of the Discord. very, very thankful for that. That's like very much needed. And if anyone else is interested in being a community leader within the Discord and helping out with that stuff, again, reach out. And I can give you the rundown on what's involved there. Also, shout out to Nate and Boris for stepping up in that regard for their respective like repack and Veet stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely there.
All right. Well, without any other things, I guess we'll catch you next week. I will be in New York, so I'm very interested to see what my streaming setup will be there. But we'll figure something out. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Catch you later.
All right. Catch you later, guys.